welcome back to my film and TV channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. I'm going over to Netflix today to have a look at one of their movies that's been released about 10 to 12 days ago as I'm recording this on the 23rd of June 2022. Yes, we're going to take a look at Spiderhead. Yeah, this is a 15 certificate Spiderhead, 106 minutes. It's classed on Internet Movie Database as an action crime drama, but it's science fiction-y, although it's not set too far into the future. It's quite close. What are people thinking? Well, obviously Joe Public on Internet Movie Database, 19,611 scores and reviews have been left as I'm recording this. 9,935 were quite positive on it, scored it between 6 and 9, and 8,509, so a big chunk though, scored it between 2 and 5. So if you look at that as a statistic, 54% positivity, so not great. I've ignored the 10 out of 10s and 1 out of 10s, as I do if you follow my stuff. So overall, it's averaging, well, it doesn't always work out like this, 54% positivity. It's averaging 5.4 out of 10, but it doesn't always work out like that. That's just how stats are. Rotten Tomatoes audience, yeah, they're, again, equally unimpressed. 5.2 out of 10 it works out at with the Rotten Tomatoes audience. This film's directed by Joseph Kosinski, screenplay by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick, based on the Dystopian, too many of these dystopian things, isn't there? Short story, Escape from Spiderhead by George Saunders. So if you've read that or you know anything about that. The film stars, well, we've got Chris Hemsworth, so any Chris Hemsworth fans, he's in this one. Miles Teller, Journey Smollett, Tess Hobridge, Bebe Betancourt, and it's released on Netflix on June the 17th. So just less than a week. I thought it was about 10 days, just less than a week from when I'm recording this. What's it about? Well, in a state-of-the-art penitentiary run by a brilliant visionary, well, I don't know their words, not mine, Steve Amnesty, inmates wear a surgically attached device that administers dosages of mind-altering drugs in exchange for commuted sentences. There are no bars, no cells or orange jumpsuits. In Spiderhead, incarcerated volunteers are free to be themselves until they're not. At times, they're a better version, need to lighten up. There's a drug for that. That's a loss for words. There's a drug for that too. But when two subjects, Jeff and Lizzie, form a connection, their path to redemption take a twistier turn as Amnesty's experiments start to push the limits of free will altogether. So, yeah, a bit of a mind control thing, of course. What about the critics? We've heard what the public thought of it. Not overly enthused. The critics, equally so, really. Rotten Tomatoes, 41% of their 119 critics who've left a review and score are positive, just 41%. An average rating, though, at 5.4 out of 10, so we've come back to that again, haven't we? 49 fresh, and 70 rotten, so almost double the rottens to the fresh. The rottens, Kevin Mayer from the Times here in the UK said, has some neat COVID-era themes, but is ultimately all premise and no payoff. Yeah, all right, we perhaps, do we need reminders of COVID? Because it's not really left us, has it? So perhaps if you're a bit worn out with it, people watching it a bit fed up with COVID might not have liked it. It's never gone away. But you do feel when you're watching it that it should be better than what we get, considering the actors and the way it's set up. Brian Lowry of CNN.com, he said, this is one of those movies that's forgotten almost as soon as it ends. And it doesn't even require any chemical intervention in order to erase the memory. Yeah, I mean, that is very interesting because I'll tell you this now. I stumbled back across this. As I said, I recorded this when I must have watched this when it first came out on Netflix. And then I realised, I stumbled across it again and thinking, oh, I didn't put a review out for that one. It was worth a review at least. So that possibly sort of backs up what Brian Lowry says there about easily forgotten, because I had forgot it and forgot to stick a review out. There was fresh, but obviously in the minority, so I'll just do one for balance. Mark Feeney from the Boston Globe said, Spiderhead really goes off the rails at the end, but at least it has rails to go off, and they're pretty good ones. I can't quite remember how long the track was, in all fairness. The website's consensus: Spiderhead's top-shelf cast and well-written source material are almost enough to compensate for its frequent failure to live up to its potential. Yeah, I mean, taking me back to what I said earlier before, it was just not as good as some of its parts, unfortunately. Metacritic, the other site we'll look at, critic site, where it uses an average, of course, assigned the film, guess what? Yeah, 54 out of 100, just one of those quirks, guys. I mean, there's no fiddling with these figures, it's just how it is. That's based on 33 critics, and it scored anywhere between 20 out of 100 and 83 out of 100. One of the lower ones was The Guardian's Peter Bradshaw. He said, well, he scored it 40, and he said, a nice creepy performance from Hemsworth, it's okay, with Teller gamely going along with the script. But having stretched out the story idea to feature film length, the film doesn't really give the sense that it knows where it's going. Yep, I have to agree. As I said, a bit of a mishmash for me. It has some good elements, but it never completely works over the time of an hour and 40 minutes for me. Collider's Ross Bername, though, he liked it. He did like it. He gave it 83 out of 100. He said, Kaczynski has already made one of the year's best movies with Maverick. Won't disagree with that one. And with an extremely intriguing concept and fantastic performances all around the board, Kaczynski has, for the second time this year, made one of the best movies of the summer. I think Ross is on a backhander for that. Very brave from Ross to compare it to Maverick. For me, this is chalk and cheese between the two. So there you go. I'll give you some of my critique along with the other critics. To sum up, 100 minutes or so. You can tell it's based on a short story that's padded out rather than a short story that's been added to and improved upon, which is the problem with this one. Hemsworth fans, I think, may enjoy it, but personally, I just thought it was pretty bang average and nothing outstanding. Certainly not to compare it to Maverick, that's for sure. But I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, which is my sit on the fence. Not a total disaster, but not just bang average and just not far out to the 5.4s we keep saying, is there? So I might score it 5.4 out of 10, but no, I haven't got a graphic for that. 5 out of 10 it'll be, guys, from me. Let me know what you think if you get to watch. As I say, Hemsworth fans probably will appreciate it a little bit more because it's plenty of screen time for Mr. Hemsworth anyway, so you might enjoy it. Let me know what you think, guys. Thanks for watching, please. Until we meet again, you and your families all stay safe. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.